I'm Ryan and I'm back again, you know already, with another Ryan Sports Reviews, but this time for Toronto FC versus Chicago Fire. Toronto FC 2, Chicago Fire 2. It wasn't a bad game, per se. We played very well, especially in the first half. Fell asleep for probably the first 15 minutes of the second half, and that's what got us. But we still pulled one back, drew it up, and we're good. So 1 point, 10 points on the season, 3-0-1, 3 wins, 0 losses, 1 draw. Pretty good. Pretty good, I'd say. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it because nobody I would have been happy with 1 win, 3 draws. Hell, I'd be happy with a win, loss, and 2 draws. I'd be happy with that. Especially with how they thought we were going to start the season. Honestly, I'll take it. I'll take anything. I'll take that. That's impressive compared to what I expected. So, I'm not mad. I'm not mad. Pozuelo, I have to say, he played too deep in the game. He played too deep. If he played a little bit higher, and it was because of Chicago's low block, but if he played higher, they would have probably had more attempts at goal, and it probably would have been a win. But Chicago did the perfect thing to counter that. Put very little space in between the lines. Low block. Don't let Pozuelo get up to the, near the 18-yard box. Maybe 5 yards behind that. Don't get him near it. Let him stay in the midfield or a little bit up. Let him stay back. Receive the ball. Try to play like Pogba in a way. So, Chicago was smart there, I have to say. Chicago was very smart there. Toronto FC had great defense in the first half. In the second, they fell asleep for 15 minutes, as I said. Mavinga, I don't think Mavinga was at fault for either goal. I think it was more Alex Bono. I think that's where the 2 goals for Chicago came in. It was more Alex Bono's fault. I do not think it was Mavinga's fault at all. Mavinga did what he had to do. He tried to direct him away, but Bono was off his line. We'll get into the plays later. We'll do that at the end. Richie Laryea had a very good game for Toronto FC. Toronto-born Richie Laryea playing at right back where Alro normally plays because Alro was out with a hamstring injury that he got during the New York City FC match. Richie Laryea played pretty good for the 60 minutes he was on the pitch. He had a lot of touches. He made some good passes, and I think he's a lot better than what most people think he is. Greg Vanney said the TFC wanted to convert him more into a right back or a left back, and he's fitting into that role pretty well. Very well. I like it. I like Richie Laryea. He's a good player. They're putting him into a role that he actually fits well and did good the first time they threw him into the fire. So, no pun intended. But, so, he did pretty good there. Now, another good player in this game, Alejandro Pozuelo, and I'm not doing that because I'm biased. I think he had a good game, considering he was basically kept in the midfield or a little bit up the whole game. He was kept really behind, and he had to deliver the ball. He was doing good. He did very good. Getting an assist in that situation, perfect. Also, Jonathan Osorio had a very good game. And on the other side, I think Jun Katai, even though he almost lost his head, had a good game. Nico Gaitan, I think he was a little bit invisible for what people were saying he was. I also think CJ Sapong actually had a very good game. Sapong had a good game. Not gonna lie, Sapong had a good game. I also think Bastian Schweinsteiger had a good game in defense. He was at every point that they needed to do to make sure that they didn't give up a goal. He was on it. Also, I think David Ousted was on it. He played very good goalkeeper. He was a very good goalkeeper today. Better than what he was with Vancouver. The man was on it. I don't think he stood on his head, but he did what he had to do to keep it a draw. So, fair play to them. I think man of the match is probably Jonathan Osorio or Josie Altidore, one of the two. This is not Toronto's man of the match or they're choosing. That's my designation, just so you know. But I think Josie or Oso have to be the man of the match because they scored the goals. they brought in good play to what it was. So we'll start talking about the plays before I close this out. First, in the 31st minute, Josie Altidore has a cross from Alejandro Pozuelo. It comes in. He heads it in on the near post. 1-0 TFC. Very succinct, very quick, good play. Josie with a good run. Bodied his way in there. You know what it is. Josie Altidore. 3 straight games with a goal. Or actually 4 straight games with a goal. The Vancouver game last season, New England, New York, Chicago. Very good play by Josie Altidore. Very good play. Now, second goal. 45+1. Stoppage time in the first half. CJ Sapong gets a good ball from midfield. Brings it down. Brings it into him. Makes a run. Mavinga can't really misdirect him. He doesn't fall for it. Bono's off his line way too much. Sapong puts it in far post, 1-1 Chicago. Now, I can't fault Mavinga for this. He was trying to misdirect him. He was trying to push him away, move him away into a better spot, or a better spot for Toronto to make the defensive play. But Alex Bono, if he would have stayed on his line, he probably would have been able to save that. Just drop down and save that. But no. I mean, exactly, he could have. Because they put it at the far post. He could have saved that if he would have stayed on his line. But it came off his line way too quickly. Way too quickly. He came off his line way too quickly. 1-1 going into the half. And Bono was the fault. That was his fault. That was his fault. And he hasn't really had many bad moments this season besides the Independiente games. So, I can't be mad. But, yeah. So, 62nd minute coming out of halftime. 62nd minute. TFC's defense was asleep for about 15 minutes, and this is why this goal happened. Katai runs down the wing, crosses in right in front of Nemanja Nikolic. It's in the 6-yard box. He taps it in. 2-1 Chicago. Honestly, I don't think you really could stop that. He top-binned it. I won't blame that on anybody. I mean, Morrow, he kind of got burned. The players on the wing kind of got burned. I don't know. The players on the wing got burned by Katai. Katai, perfect cross to Nikolic. Can't do nothing about it. 2-1 Chicago Fire. Then in the 76th minute, Jonathan Osorio, who's one of our own, gets a cross from Josie Altidore. Josie with an assist. Osorio heads it in, 2-2 TFC, and it would stay that way for the rest of the match. TFC pulls out the draw, gets a point, 10 points on the season, 3 wins, 0 losses, 1 draw, and I can't complain. I really can't complain. We had a good game. There were just some mental lapses that caused those 2 goals. It wasn't like we were hemorrhaging the goals. So I'm not going to be mad. So if you like this video, share it, subscribe, like it. If you have anything to say, put it in the comments. Put it on Reddit, whatever. You know the deal. Thank you for watching. I'm Ryan, and I'm out. Peace.